So I wanted to make this video about like the fear of climbing and scared of heights, things like that, because it's something that I feel doesn't get spoken about too often, but it happens on a regular basis, and I see it all the time. But anyway, I'll take you back. So when I first started, I did a 2-year course at college, 2 years of ARB. Now, we didn't start straight off with the climbing. We did some ground stuff first, and then we got slowly introduced to the kit and sort of learning to access the trees and stuff like that. But I remember being very anxious, and I was I had a fear of heights. I was quite scared. You know, it's almost, it's the unknown, isn't it? You know, and I think that's where the anxiety and the fear comes from, because you're stepping into a world of unknown and stuff like that. But I think what helped me combat my fear of climbing and the heights and everything like that, and of course it is a lot of, I can say this now, it's a lot of repetition and sheer determination and just familiarity with climbing. So I've learnt to combat and keep the anxiety at bay. But I managed to find this inner determination to actually complete the tasks that was in front of me. I wanted to succeed, you know, just that sheer pride and just wanting to be the best. So there is that element of it which does help. But I think what would be really, really beneficial to anybody sort of getting into the industry and wanting to become a tree worker and a climber and stuff like that is knowing, so obviously having a lot of knowledge about the structure of trees, which if you know what you're about to climb, and you can look out for signs of weak unions and stuff like that. But I think there's one book actually that I would highly recommend, and I'm glad I read it. I don't actually have it, but what I'll do is I'll pop a picture up now and I'll show you the book I'm on about. But the book, what I'm on about, is The Body Language of Trees by Klaus Matuk. So I'll pop the picture up now. So this book it's a fantastic book. It's really well put together. The illustrations are fantastic, and it goes into depths about how a tree is structured, and it is put into quite simple and easy to follow terms actually. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this book. It's a great read. It will fill you with absolute confidence. You know, you wouldn't come away not reading it and not feeling that you haven't learned anything. So I'd urge anybody to go out and purchase this book and really read it, and you know, you'll gain a lot of knowledge, and it will fill you, like I said, it'll fill you with masses and massive confidence. So when you do come to sort of climb a tree, if you're unsure, then you know what to look out for and know what's safe to climb and stuff like that. And not only that, it's just great to have people around you to kind of mentor you. If you've got someone that you work with that can help you progress and mentor you through, if you're unsure on whether to go out on limbs and stuff like that, it's always great to have somebody there to kind of coach you through, And I mean, I was quite fortunate. So I did this 2 years of ARB, and I'd say within my first year of working for a tree firm, I was certainly climbing and progressing. I was going at a steady pace. I wasn't pushed or forced into anything, but also it was kind of good to maybe get out of the comfort zone a little bit, and just that's how you progress, and it's I know it's quite hard and you've got all these different elements going on. It's one thing climbing a tree, but then working a tree, it's it just adds a lot more to it. And I can see people easily getting flustered and getting anxious and getting fearful. So that's one benefit I feel that it would help you along with the anxiety and the fear, is just doing your knowledge, doing a bit of research on the structure of trees. And that's a great book, it's a great read. Secondly, is probably another massive factor is the actual climbing kit itself. Now, I see a lot of people not trusting their kit and not having the confidence in their kit. But what you've got to remember is this: so your climbing line, your harness, and the carabiners, and obviously the friction or the climbing device that you use to go up and down the tree. It goes through such a vigorous process and such test. This stuff it's all rated equally, I believe. So basically, to put it in a nutshell, is you're not going to break this kit. It's rated. And one thing, actually, a little story here that we did whilst I was on this college course, is we set up a climbing line over a lowish branch on the tree, and we obviously got into the harness probably maybe about a foot so we would dangle in the harness maybe a foot off the ground, not even that, maybe just so you're off the ground, just to do this test. And what the tutor did was he took a knife and he ever so slowly cut very slowly through the rope. Now, as the rope broke apart, you could see all the different strands, and we slowly got down to one strand. Now, if this doesn't fill you with confidence, I don't know what will, but I'll tell you now, there was one single strand holding. Now, these ropes, they could probably take the weight of your car and your neighbour's car put together. It would just lift up. So maybe if you are struggling a bit, maybe just think about that. Just think about your ropes and your harness lifting up a car, You know, it can take a lot of weight, and like I said, you're not gonna break. You're not gonna break this kit. And finally, I think, you know, it's just basically, it's just having the confidence in yourself. Now, I've found over the years just repetition, determination, and getting myself familiar. This helps. Also, it's just, yeah, just pushing yourself and just riding through that anxiety. Just ride through it. You might feel like you're the only one feeling like this, but trust me, you're not. You're not. I was in this boat when I first started, and there's many other people, if not everybody, gets this. There's people out there that they may not seem from the outside that that it doesn't faze them, and there are people like that, but I wouldn't worry. I'm pretty sure they are feeling this way as well. They're just better at hiding it. Okay, so I think one of the things that helped me with this is just to, if you've got access to your kit, or you've got means of access, and you've got a good group of people that you work with, I mean, or some mates that do the same and they're in the same industry, just club together and go and do some rec climbs, you know, get into a tree, you know, just dangle around in a tree, swing about in a tree, and get comfy with your kit. Just trust your kit and just trust what you're climbing on, you know, because, you know, that doing the rec climbs and stuff like that really helps, because it gets you confidence in the tree. You're moving about in the tree. You're almost coaching yourself. So then when you go to the work site, you may feel a little bit more comfortable doing the work in the tree, because you've been out. It's practice. At the end of the day, it's practice. The more you do something, the better you get. Okay, so if you want to take anything away from this video, I'd say just focus on those three things, and those are the three key elements that actually do hinder people in their progress in the trees and stuff. So yeah, it's just repetition, it's just familiarization, it's just doing it for years and years, and over time you just learn to cope with what's around you. I mean, when I'm in a tree, I'm so honed in and focused on the task that I have put in front of me, I may as well be cutting the branches like on the ground, you know. So I kind of visualize that, and I'm aware of what's going on, the drop zone and everything that's around me, but I may as well, you know, I blur the background, and I may as well be on the ground cutting. You know, it doesn't faze me at all. I've been up many trees, and I've been exposed to quite a lot over the years that I've been in the industry. But like I said, for any newcomers that are coming in, just try and just be a bit of a pest to your boss or your team leader or whoever, and just ask for opportunities, because honestly, the more you do it, the better you get. And it's just repetition. That's all it is. It's just, you know, I mean, there's loads of different ways of coping and managing anxiety and fear and stuff like that in a tree, but these are the things that have helped me along the way, the stuff that I've discussed and spoken about. So anyway, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover on this video. But anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.